video, I will reveal Shin Lim's card production act on the Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. Here's what happened. Shin asks Jimmy to drop a pair of dice into a glass cup and tell him the two numbers facing up. The sum of the numbers is 10, and he asks one of the drummers of the show to pick a card suit, and he chooses hearts. Afterward, the magician brings out a deck of random cards, and in a moment he magically transforms all of them into the 10 of hearts. Following that, he starts producing cards in his empty hands one by one, as if it were all CGI. How did he execute this trick? Here is the explanation. Firstly, the magician uses a pair of loaded dice, a 6 and a 4, for his first trick. There are several ways to make this trick work, and one of them is by putting plastic dice in an oven. This makes the plastic inside melt and fall to the base, making it heavier. Hence, whichever side faces up when the dice are placed in the oven will always face up when rolled. Thereafter, he picks up a stack of cards from a deck and fans them out. As it appears, the cards he fans are double-faced, with one side showing random faces and the other side showing the 10 of hearts. He initially clips the fan between his index and middle fingers, but it isn't visible because it's behind the spread. Afterward, his thumb goes under and he flicks the entire fan around to make all the 10 of hearts show, then tosses them to the ground. Using that, he magically produces a card in his left hand, produces another card from the host's ear, and makes them magically multiply. In order to execute this trick, the magician held the cards together using shim magnets, so they stuck together. Hence, he was able to toss them in the air, and they stayed glued together due to the magnets. A messy spread occurred because the magnets were a bit too strong. To produce the cards, Shin uses an invisible string mechanism, which loops the cards in his suit, with the other ends of the loop thread hanging outside his suit. Therefore, he simply puts his finger into any of the loops to pull the cards out of his suit. When he makes a motion placing both of his hands close to his chest, he pulls the string to make the card swing into his left palm. The card can't be seen because he hides it behind his palm. Thereafter, he transfers the card to his right hand. It can be observed that he is holding the wire with his left hand to position it properly, so it hangs behind his palm. Following that, he switches his grip and loops the wire around his thumb again. Then he twists his left hand to act as a cover, so the card can transfer back to his left hand. Once the card is transferred to his left hand, he makes a sign with his hands and turns them around to pull out the card by stretching his fingers. Shin uses the same mechanism to produce another thread, which he grabs with his left index finger. Initially, the card is hidden in his left hand, then he transfers it to his right hand. Afterward, he uses his left hand as a cover again to transfer the card back into it. And finally, places his left hand beside the host's head to reveal it. In addition, he spreads the cards again using the shim magnets. At this moment, his right hand reaches for another stack of cards in his suit and holds the pile in a tenkai palm. He then reveals the stack, makes another fan, and tosses the cards. For the part where he removes a pack of cards from the host's pocket, the cards had been placed there before the show. After he fans the pack of cards, his left-hand fingers grab another loop of invisible thread. He then makes a hand gesture with his right hand to loop the thread around his thumb. This thread is connected to a stack of cards hidden behind his hands and sleeves. After reaching for the loop, all he has to do is extend his arm to make the cards slide out of his sleeve into his palm when he puts his hand beside the host's head. Additionally, he reaches for his forehead and produces another card using the same method he used earlier. Furthermore, a thin white line appears on his thumb due to the tension of the invisible string mechanism he is using for his card tricks. Behind this mask, only the truth remains till we meet again.